Some people choose to become a minimalist, while others are forced, they are thrown into the minimalist lifestyle. My mom hates when I tell this story, but more on that later.
I used to be very non-minimalist. I shopped all the time, I was an avid gamer, I was on my phone almost constantly, and I had this hair. But one day while I was scrolling around on my phone, I learned about minimalism. And that's when it hit me. This is what I needed. Now on the outside, minimalism might look pretty simple, but behind the scenes there's a lot more going on than you think. Stage 1. Realize that despite buying a bunch of new stuff and gadgets, your life feels strangely empty, and all that stuff that you own feels like it's starting to own you. You feel sick of having no control over your life, and all the mental and physical clutter is starting to get to you. It's time to make a change. Stage 2. Immerse yourself in Machiavelli videos and every podcast and book and YouTube video that you can find on the topic of minimalism and just really get obsessed about it. Wait a minute, is that Heath Ledger? Stage 3. Get all pumped up on your day off, pick a room, and start decluttering it. Throw away stuff mercilessly and get excited about how your life is about to change. Stage 4.
In my opinion, if you can fit everything you own into a car, I feel like you are at the top tier level of minimalism. If everything you own can fit into one car, you are at the top tier level of minimalism.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve these nuts. Got it!
As a minimalist of 2 years, my thought process when I buy stuff, it goes through a couple different levels. How long would it take me to make this money back? If you're getting paid $20 per hour, and this pair of shoes costs $100, are those pairs of shoes worth 5 hours of your life? That's one phase. Now, the second phase. When I buy this thing, is it gonna make me more money in the long run? That's more of the entrepreneurial mindset in me. When I buy this like editing software, YouTube editing software, or when I pay for someone to make my thumbnails, will it make me more money in the long run? More than likely, if I have a better thumbnails, I'll get more clicks and I'll make more money. Makes sense to pay for a thumbnail editor. Number 2, if I buy this, will I save more money in the long run? So for example, you may decide to change all the light bulbs in your house from high usage to more energy efficient light bulbs. So you may spend a little bit more now, but save a ton of money in the long run. And the third aspect is when I buy this thing, am I just losing money? There's no real ROI of this purchase. Fast food, for the most part, there's no real ROI, right? By the next day, it's gone and you're hungry again.
Before we attack each other and tear ourselves to shreds like a pack of maniacs, let's just open the sack first and see what's actually in it. It might not even be worth the trouble.
What do you think? I'm not sure. Maybe. Hi.
A rancid apple core, 2 worm-eaten banana peels, a moldy rice cake, a dried-up pickle, tin of sardine bones, a pile of broken eggshells, an old smushed-up rotten gizzard with maggots all over it.
Okay, it's worth it.
But we know the ROI of grocery shopping is usually a lot longer, right? Grocery will last you at least a week or 2, depending on whether or not you're doing intermittent fasting, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's essentially my framework when it comes to buying more stuff. And the things you already have in your house, yo, what can I sell? What can I use? What can I give away or sell that I'm no longer using anymore?
After finishing half of one room and ripping apart part of your house, decide that it's too much work and give up. Stage 5. Go back and watch a bunch more videos to hype up that motivation so you can finish tackling that room that is completely destroyed. But this time you picked a system and you actually made a pretty good impact. Stage 6. Now you have momentum, you have a plan. You finished up crying, and you make it to the 3rd room before you break down again. After you break down, have a mild crisis, order a Chemex on Amazon, you make up your mind that you are committed, and you get back to work. And repeat most of the first stages. Stage 7. You finish the first round of decluttering in your home. All the obvious stuff and clothes that don't fit, you donated and got rid of. but there were some things that you simply couldn't let go. Stage 8. This is where things get difficult. You struggle with those things you haven't seen in years, and you're finally forced to face those items that you've kind of put away for later. You struggle with, should you get rid of that gift and that sentimental item? The battle is fierce.
You're a fool for challenging me.
Alright, I'm going crazy. It's time to get rid of this stuff. Stage 9. Realize it's all just stuff. And as you start letting go of those sentimental items, you realize they didn't matter to you as much as you thought they would. And instead of feeling a loss, you actually feel space opening in your life. Stage 10. Get weirdly into gourmet coffee. Find a local roaster and even start weighing it, as you wonder how you ever drink that other crap. Then you take a moment to be kind of disgusted about what a coffee snob you have become. But it...
Coffee? I've never really been one for coffee. I like tea though. Tea is good. Tea is like, you know, gives you that little sense of tranquility.
And release all of those sounds that are trapped in your mind. Sir, are you okay?
I'm a little messed up.
But like I was saying before, as my intro to this whole thing, I was thrust into the concept of minimalism. Essentially, what had happened was I was trying to be an entrepreneurial type of thing. I paid for this online course talking about how to sell on Amazon FBA, make a certain amount of money. They didn't really promise, but you know, that was what they were insinuating, right? So I used some of the money I had in my checking account, plus some of my tuition money to buy that course, right? Obviously, I did pay tuition, but essentially that's what happened. And from what I can recall, that course was about $2,000, so it was a pretty penny to say the least. And this is why it really warms my soul when I see videos online reviewing all these make money online guru courses, right? Shopify, Amazon FBA, ClickBank. Like, this is what happened to me. And there wasn't this amount of videos exposing or revealing the truth about, you know, make money online courses and their effectiveness and the success rate of their students. And then after learning, going through all the videos, going through all the training, setting up a website, professional email, which I still use to this day, partner at flipthescriptocs.com.
Hey, to this day,
and reaching out to brands to sell their products for them on Amazon, I ultimately ended up in almost $10,000 of credit card debt. For example, as a seller and not just a buyer on Amazon, I would buy products from the brand themselves. For example, think about buying stuff from Amazon and selling it for them on their platform. Essentially, I would buy 100 items at a time, and as a result, I would get a discount. Maybe it would cost me $10, right? And then I sell it on Amazon for a profit at maybe $30 or $40. Why would they sell to me and not just sell themselves? Maybe because they don't want to deal with the Amazon platform and stuff like that, or they trust that I can run ads for them on their behalf and get them more product reviews to increase their brand's awareness on the platform. Okay, so I say all that to say this. I would buy something for maybe $3,000, right? Using my credit card. You see where this is going, right? You see where this is going. And then my goal was to resell it on Amazon and hopefully get $1,000 profit. So I would buy it for $3,000 and hopefully make $4,000 back with a net profit of $1,000. So the thing with Amazon is that there are other people that have access to the same products that you have access to, whether it be the brand selling it to them directly or the product just one way or another landing in the seller's possession through the buying chain. So I have $1,000 worth of this item, I'm selling it for $30, and someone else has $1,000 worth of an item and they're selling it for $25. And obviously Amazon wants people to buy stuff, so the $25 person will get the buy box and will be making sales while I just have $1,000 worth of items that are not selling. So obviously it becomes a race to the bottom. Now when I was imagining a $1,000 profit, now I might only get 200 or even take a loss and lose money, lose $1,000, right? And with no substantial amount of money in my savings account, in the event that I don't have the money to pay the credit card bill back, you can see how I can get into credit card debt and carry a balance. And with a $3,000 bill, the interest rate is going to be pretty high. The first time I talked about this, I was very emotional. I made a whole video on that. If you wanna see me cry or be more emotional, you know, watch that video right here. So like, some nights I had nowhere to sleep. So what did I do? I sleep on campus. I try and find a place on campus to sleep at. I had the study room, washroom, bruh. I was sleeping in the washrooms. I was sleeping in residence washrooms. I just locked the door. I tried to sleep in there for the night. Yo. Oh shit. But essentially, I made a drastic decision to quote unquote be homeless and not pay money towards rent. So the money I was getting from my job as a waiter at restaurants, I was now going to use to attack the debt as much as possible. I did not renew my lease, right? I did not renew my lease. And instead, I would couch surf on my friends' places or stay at a homeless shelter for a time period while I built up the savings and stuff like that, right? I sold all my shit or I threw it away. Essentially, I would leave my main luggage at a friend's place, their own condo or apartment, and I would just have the clothes on my back, maybe a couple extra clothes in my backpack, and maybe one or two things in my locker at the homeless shelter, and that was it. I would pretty much wear the same thing every other day or within a certain time period, right? So this is what essentially led me to have minimalist principle. I remember a period in my life where I had 4 full boxes. Hold on, let me show you. 4 full boxes, 4 of these. I had 4 of these, right?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Of that kind of size that I had. But by the time I realized it, yo, I had way too much stuff that I don't even be using all these clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, that's essentially what led me to minimalism. I bypassed all the other shit. I don't know what other steps Gabe is about to talk about, but I went from step 1 all the way to 15 or 17. One more emotional video on that, definitely I'll leave it linked in the description or in the cards up here. Yeah, and I never told my parents for a hot minute. Just I didn't want them to deal with the stress of like that. I have 2 younger brothers. Rich got a new house and shit. So like, I wasn't trying to like, you know, be another burden. I already have student loan stuff, just taking care of school bills, and then now helping my son pay $12,000 of credit card debt. Yo, it's like, I was like, yo, let me just go on my dolos and handle this shit on my own.
It's too late. You can never go back. Stage 11. Finally sit down and enjoy your home that does not have clutter in it. You have arrived. Stage 12. Realize that you still have some decluttering to do, but this time it's in your relationships and your technology, so that you can gain control back over your life and your time. Stage 13.
Oh yeah, that digital minimalism stuff is another top tier thing. Like on my phone, maybe I'll show like a screen recording of all the apps on my phone, but literally all the apps are either things that I used for YouTube to make YouTube videos, or just the things that already come with the iPhone apps by default, right? I don't go on Instagram or Twitter on my phone, at least during the day. If I do go on it, I'll go on it on my desktop. That's the key. That is the key. Going on Instagram or Twitter or even Facebook on your desktop is completely different from doing it on your phone. The phone is just more intuitive. It's like a lot easier to just go from one thing to the next thing, but to like scroll on your mouse, this, click that, is more of a hassle. This can even be applied to the concept of where and when you take out your phone. For example, when you're about to go for number 2, in the washroom. Take out number 2. Why do you need your phone with you? That is part of the digital minimalism, and that's also part of the phone addiction, right? It's one thing if you're taking it to the washroom to take a shower, but why is it, it's not, honestly, it's probably not even the best in terms of hygiene, right? When you go for number 2, or even number 1, don't take your phone with you. And when you're waiting in line for the groceries to like check out, don't pull it out. Don't pull out your phone. Listen to your music if need be, but continue just be more aware of the things that you're doing without constantly looking down on your phone. So 1, don't take your phone with you when you're doing number 2, and when you're waiting in line in the grocery store, don't look at your phone. Have a rule for like when I'm waiting in line to check out, I won't go on my phone. I'll just be present in the interaction with the cashier and on my way out to my car or walking home. You know what I'm saying? So I would say start using more of your digital or social media platforms on your phone. On your laptop, and delete Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc. during the day, and then re-download it in the evening when you are finished with most of your major activities or major work.
This one you find to be a real struggle. You have to come face to face with your phone addiction, your technology addiction, and your toxic relationships that are just sucking the life out of you. You realize in horror that the average American spends almost 5.5 hours on their phone every day. And as you begin to be conscious and start checking out how much time you are spending on your phone, you find you're not that far off. You start to get angry at this piece of metal that's running your life, and you decide to take a little break. You reorganize your phone, delete some apps, and stop compulsively checking email. It takes a long time and a lot of work, but eventually you add some time back to your day. Stage 14. Gain control back over your time. Start saying no to a lot of requests that people give you. Defend your calendar. Make sure every appointment that you have is necessary and not just because someone asked. Start letting go of those toxic relationships, those people who always drag you down and hold you back. Realizing that if you don't take control over your day, someone else will. No, I told you I'm not going to drive you again. All right, there's no way your appendix hurts that bad, all right? Just drive yourself to the ER, okay?
Oh, and I said this before in another video, but essentially also minimalism in terms of the money you give out or the gifts you give out. Right? When people ask you for stuff or to borrow money or you want to lend money or stuff like that, tell yourself, yo, if I don't get this money back, will I still be financially okay? Will I be okay not getting this money back? If I give them $20, will I be okay without my $20? Will I have the desire to ask them about the money? If I won't be okay without this money in my possession, let me not give it to them. Let me give them, if they ask for 50, let me give them 30 or 10 or nothing at all.
And that's a fact.
This will allow you to not put a stress on the relationship, because once you do that, you are kind of creating like a unequal balance in the relationship. Yeah, you're up here and the other person is down here, right? Because you're kind of like looking down on them just innately, just because like they weren't maybe being fully transparent with you, right? And then you're also burdening yourself because you gave out money that you had no business giving out. That's a word. Just because you were nice. And even if they were consistent in the past, always ask yourself, each new time it may occur from the same person or other people, will I be okay without this money not returning back to me? And in my opinion, the best gift you can give someone is the gift of paid bills. It's mom or dad's birthday. Yo, mom, dad, let me take care of your phone bill for the day. Let me take care of the utility bills or the Wi-Fi bill. I got you. Paid bills are arguably the best gift, hands down. No cap. All facts, no cap.
With the lie detector determined, you're telling the truth.
Maybe an iTunes gift card because they use Spotify or Apple Music a lot. Apple Music, right? Stuff like that. Or even an Airbnb type gift card because they travel or just in general, right? I'm just saying.
All right, bye, Mom. Stage 15. Realize that you actually have more time to live your life now that you've gotten rid of those toxic people and relationships and those habits that have been holding you back for years. Stage 16. Finally begin that business or project that you've always wanted to do but have never had time for. Start to reimagine what your life can be like, and now you actually have time to spend with family and friends, making memories without always having to be tied down to your devices or stressing about all the chaos that's going on in your life. You start to see new possibilities and your whole life moving in another direction. Stage 17. Think that you have finally arrived, you've conquered all your demons, and now you are a minimalist. Realize again that it's never truly over, that minimalism is a journey, it is not a destination. And realize that no matter how many times you declutter or break a bad habit, you're always going to have new problems that arise, but as long as you follow these minimalist principles, you know that you can handle them, and you know that you're going to enjoy the journey.
I like that shit. I like that shit. That was very good. Very good. Well done, Gabe. Well done. You're a top tier in the YouTube game, bro. If you currently have a spending issue or spending problem, I would highly recommend that you, for the next week, go on a spending freeze, right? No eating out, no online shopping, and don't spend any money on non-essential food items or non-essential items, right? So to go to your store, okay, groceries. Gas, okay, gas. Okay, phone bill, fine. But for the next week, for this week, they're coming up, right? Whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, until the next calendar week, don't spend any money. And if you have to, give yourself a budget of maybe $20. Literally take out the $20 bill and then pay, and then use it if necessary. Take out the $20 bill, put it in your pocket or your wallet or your purse or whatever, handbag, Birkin bag, and then use it whenever you need it for the following week. I promise you, that is where the rubber will meet the road. Forcing yourself to be more cautious of your weekly spending outside of the basic necessities such as gas and food will cause you to start, getting used to some of that minimalist lifestyle. But yo, while you're here, if you want to watch my full minimalist story time on how I became low-key homeless, watch that video right here. And if you want to know how to save even more money in terms of your utility bill, like water, gas, energy, electricity, watch my past video right here as well. I promise you, both of these videos, top tier quality content, A1 sauce. As always, if it doesn't feed you, don't water it, and too much of any good thing is good for nothing. How are you lot doing today? I'm doing more, saying less, and keeping that same energy. No cat. Flip the script. I'm out. Deuces.
And I'm just juicing and saucing. You girl is smooching, man, it's so good. And they're really trying to blame the kid.
So I